Hello and thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Akeredolu Ozubakun. Today on the program, Governor Akeredolu submits nomination and expression of interest forms in Abuja, says he's proud of his first-term achievements as he promises Ondo State people better days ahead. Federal government suspends flights. Company that conveyed Naira Marley from Lagos to Abuja as management says Popstar used Babatunde Fashola to secure services. And later on the show, Inspector General of Police says Nigeria recorded 717 rape cases between January and May. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Asukwo James. So if you are ready, let the hangout start now. Tributes have continued to pour in for the late senator representing Lagos East's Bayo Oshinowo, who died on Monday. The deceased senator, who has been buried, reminded us of transcendent nature of life when he told us to be prepared for death during a speech on the floor of the Nigerian Senate. Let's hear him.
My name is Senator Bayo Oshinowo. I represent Lagos East Senatorial District. And on behalf of my family and the Senatorial District, and of course, we are here. Today is not a sad day, as some people mentioned, but rather it's a day to thank God. Because God did not sign any agreement with anybody when He created us. He just created us without notice. So He will take us away without notice because He did not sign any agreement with us. But I want to tell you, my dear colleagues, you must continue to thank God. This is their first birthday, 1 year birthday. Many never witnessed 10 years. Which of the blessings of your Lord are we going to deny? After all, many of our prophets lived only 33 years and 60 years. He even lived more than the prophets. Which of the blessings of the Lord are we going to deny? So on this note, I am begging we should continue thanking God in our life. Death is inevitable. It will come out of a sudden. What I'm trying to say is that we must prepare. Let our righteous good deeds more than our bad. For my colleagues who said the good one goes, the bad one, whether you are good or bad, we are not the Moliki Yaomedin. We are not the judge. I know those who good, they will not sleep perpetually. Those who bad will never sleep perpetually.
Late Senator Bayo Oshinowo, I think would have been buried now in Jabode as about now 12 noon would have been buried. Babajide, thought-provoking words and words of marble from Bayo Oshinowo.
You know, he was a very religious man. He never joked with his prayers as a Muslim, a very devoted Muslim. And I wasn't surprised I was speaking in that way because the more spiritual you are, the more you realize the inevitability of death and the more you prepare for it. You just prepare that whenever it pleases your maker to take you, you are ready. And he was speaking like someone who knew that even his own death could come anytime. So that's a lesson. We should all be prepared for the inevitability of death. We could sleep anytime and not wake up. It's not a strange thing anymore for young people to die. You know, death is commonplace. We should be ready for it.
Asuko, looking at since yesterday, I've been trailing his stories, testimony about him, and I've discovered that one of the major strengths of Bayo Oshinowo is his philanthropic nature. That he has affected lives, he has invested into people, and he has placed people in different strategic positions across the country.
I think that is the essence of every man, you know, to impact positively on the lives of people, you know. And just like he said, if you came to the world to, you know, to be bad, then it will show. You know, and if look, just yesterday, if you see the number of people that went to his house, and all of them were all crying and blowing tribute to him on how he has assisted them one way or the other. The essence of life is to impact on people and to show love to people. Because when you leave, that is what people will always remember you for.
All right. May the soul of late Senator Bayo Oshinowo rest in perfect peace. The bubble has finally burst for the embattled Ondo State Governor Godwin Obaseki after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. Governor Obaseki announced that he has resigned his membership of the All Progressive Congress, APC. Let's share his comments.
I don't know if it's good news. You recall that my last statement, my last tweet, I said that I'll make a decision after my disqualification was announced by APC, that I will make a decision after I have consulted with the leadership and my supporters in Ondo State, and also have informed the president. I'm just here today to inform you that I have now decided formally to resign my membership of the All Progressive Congress. Having done that, I will now announce in the next few days my specific line of action and what platform I will be contesting the gubernatorial elections on. Someone who hasn't gone to school, who doesn't have certificates himself, will not even know and understand what inconsistencies in certificates are. So that's the starting point. What is the inconsistency? There is no inconsistency in my certificates. The issue was in 2016 when I contested for the gubernatorial elections. I could not find the originals of my certificates because I hadn't required them for more than 2 decades. So I deposed to an affidavit that I could not find the originals. Subsequently, I found all the original copies of all my certificates, and they are here with me. So I don't understand what is inconsistent about that. Maybe the inconsistency is in the youth corps certificate, where he said my surname was missing an I in the end. But if you look at that, it was like a cursive. It was written in a cursive manner. So if that's inconsistency for him, then it's really sad.
We don't need a crystal ball to tell you where Obaseki is going, Babajide.
We are not sure yet. I will tell you why we are not sure yet. He's looking at our court party, he's looking at PDP. They are still talking, they are still in talks. If it was a done deal, if everything had been perfected, he would have told us immediately that I was moving to PDP. Yes. But he has to think through all this and decide what's best for him. If some of the candidates or the aspirants in the PDP will not agree to work with him, for example, then he has to think of somewhere to contest. One thing he made clear is that he would decide on where to contest. So he has his options. If the PDP, of course, they will give him some conditions. If he's not ready to meet those conditions, then he could then be looking at a court party. But if he goes to a court, then the support base, the financial support, the financial and moral support that the quantum of PDP governors can give him will be missing. It then means that he will be the only one funding himself, you know, and then he would also be in direct conflict, direct competition with the PDP guys, which means those PDP governors will also be doing their best to back their own candidate. He will not get their support. So at the end of the day, he will have to think through and see what concessions he can make. The PDP guys too will see what concessions they can make, because I've heard that one big issue is the matter of deputy governor. He wants to stick with his deputy governor, but the PDP guys want to produce a deputy for him.
Then it's your cake and have it.
The talks will continue, and both sides will then decide at the end of the day, okay, we have agreed. This is what will happen, but his options are still open.
I believe Obaseki saw this coming a day like this, and I thought he would have made this move earlier. When he was trying to make truce with Oshinowo and the thing has been up and down months before now, he would have settled in PDP by now, and he would have been talking about going for primaries and making their primaries like a walkover. Now he's just doing this. On the 19th, is slated for the primaries of the People's Democratic Party. That is telling you that this Friday.
I think what he was trying to do was to show Nigerians that, come, if I'm going to leave at all, I'm going to leave this party. I have to leave for a reason. And people should not see it as if I am the one that actually left the party. And that is why he actually stayed this long, trying to see how he can see everybody that is involved, the national leader, including the president, Although I heard he didn't see the president, he saw the chief of staff. But even at that, if you see the chief of staff, you are seeing the president. Even at that. So he has shown that he can go all out to see everybody for him to take that decision, which he has actually done. So we shouldn't crucify him for now. We shouldn't crucify him. He has done his bit, and he has given reasons why he shouldn't have been disqualified. So it's left for the Edo people to now say, okay, fine. On so-so day, which is the election day proper, we'll know who, if it's going to be on the ballot, because politicians, you never can tell. They can decide, okay, for there to be peace and for me to maintain my sanity, I want to step down, I don't want to go. But as it stands, he still wants to go on with the battle. So whichever party is going to take, or whichever party is going to go to, people should also, what he has tried to do is to tell people that I didn't voluntarily leave this party, the party that,
pushed me out.
But they pushed me out. So people should now take that. And he has done it. So it's left for the APC to now look at how they'll be able to do their PR so that people will not see them as a bad party.
After Edo State's attention is shifting to neighboring Ondo State, Governor Akeredolu, who is seeking re-election, has submitted his nomination and expression of interest forms at the All Progressive Congress, APC, in Abuja. He says he's proud of his first-time achievements, promising the people of the state better days ahead. Let's hear from Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu.
Certainly, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. This is the season again for those of us who have off-term elections, in particular maybe Edo, Ondo, Ekiti, Kogi, a few of the states that will do bias, that will have our elections at different times from the general election. And as you know, Ondo State election will be coming up in October. And our party, APC, has set down the rules and guidelines for the election. And clearly, we have at the time now to obtain expression of interest and our nomination forms. And having obtained the expression of interest and nomination form, I decided to let the president know of the fact that I will be contesting election again. And the last time I contested, I made it known to him that I will be running for the election. And I was there, like the gentleman who is at the door said, look, the last time you came, you met me here, and I'm still there today. So I've only come here to let the Mr. President know of the fact that I'll be running for this office. And that I pray God Almighty that I will be successful, and that I needed His blessing, and He wished me very well.
Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State. Now, at a point in time, people were categorizing what is happening in Edo States with Ondo States, but some months before now, we clearly saw it that Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu might have been playing his politics better than what happened to Governor Obaseki. Right now, I think he's in sync with the leadership of the party, and I don't see anybody rocking the boat in within the All Progressive Congress in Ondo State.
No, there are
the leadership. Sorry.
Well, there are 4 governors who openly showed opposition to Oshinowo and wanted him to be removed. There were 4 governors who initially didn't want the former national chairman to leave office.
Oyegu.
Yes, and Akeredolu was one of those governors. The governor of Kaduna was one of them. The governor of Kogi was one of them. The governor of Plateau, the 4th governor. Back then, those who didn't want the former chairman to leave. Now, that animosity continued. Invariably, Oshinowo was prevailed upon to let the governor of Kogi run for a 2nd term. The governor of Kogi made up with Asiwaju, and you saw that famous picture of Asiwaju raising 8 fingers, meaning 4 more years. And then people like Faleke also jumped in and assisted him to get re-elected. The governor of Ondo State, gradually after that, that day when Oshinowo would have been embarrassed at the meeting of the party. 12 chairmen of
APC.
12 state chapter chairmen were against him, and among them were chairman of Ondo, chairman of Ekiti, and the rest of them. But now, the governor of Ondo State has made up with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has made up with Oshinowo. He has seen clearly that, look, it makes no sense for this battle to go on. As I said some time ago, when it became impossible to remove Oshinowo through the courts, some of them now came back. That was how, from about 12 governors, the list of renegade governors, if I can use that word, let them forgive me if it's not the appropriate word, but in the live program, sometimes you can't quickly find the right word. The list of those governors opposed to him came down from 12 to like 6, or maximum 7. So the alignments have begun. Akeredolu is now firmly on the side of Oshinowo. There's no doubt about it. They've had meetings. And you saw what happened recently in Abuja when Oshinowo held his hand and said, stand beside me. Talk to the press on my behalf. So that is the thing. You have to choose your battles. And when it becomes clear that you are pursuing someone and it looks unlikely that you are going to catch that person, you have to just tell yourself, look, at this time, no, I don't want to fight this person anymore. That is the problem with our people. Our people don't know when to stop chasing someone that they may never catch. You see someone pursue, even in your office, someone hates you, he keeps fighting you, he wants to bring you down. Every effort he makes fails, but he does not want to stop until he gets himself destroyed in the process. It's the nature of men. So he has seen that there's no need to continue to fight the chairman. They are back now. After all, this same Akeredolu used to even be lawyers to some of these people. And he was close to Asiwaju. Asiwaju would say, go and defend this person in court for me. And in some cases, he even did the pro bono. So that is the thing. He now became complete contrast to Obaseki, because Obaseki, as I advised him, you stoop to conquer. Make peace with these people. No, but he was not ready to make peace, because he felt that that gambit through the courts will work. But the moment that didn't work, there was no plan B. There was no plan B. But so it's a good thing now. Akeredolu, at least from the national headquarters of the party and the leadership of the party, the big people in the party, he cannot be said to have enemies anymore. It is within his state that he has to sort out the squabbles that they have, you know, with the rest of, with some of the contestants.
Unity Forum.
Yes, he has to find a way, and if he thinks he can win without them,
now,
we should give
as
good luck.
we're looking at Akeredolu in the last 4 years, in terms of what he has done, in terms of development, in terms of his politics and everything, now he's seeking re-election, and you want to look at the People's Democratic Party in that same state. Don't forget that Rahman Olusegun Mimiko, that left the Sado, his predecessor, was Labour Party, from Labour Party, ended up in the People's Democratic Party, and APC has taken over now. So how would you assess the politics in Ondo State?
I think the politics we can say we started in maybe 2016, and since all the squabbles that happened in 2016, solution, especially solution within that party in the states, they've not been able to resolve it. Now, if you look at even the deputy governor, Ajayi Agbola and the governor today, they don't see eye to eye. You know, and in fact, as we speak, it's about going to PDP. You know, Shegu Abraham has issues with him. Olushola Oke has issues with him. You know, so if he can go outside, you know, the thing is, like they say, you need to make sure that your home is free of problems, so that when you get home, you'll be able to sleep. But if you go outside, you have so many hotels for you to sleep. But inside, which is where you can relax, have peace, you'll be able to think, you know, should also be as peaceful as possible. You understand? So he has to find a way to go back home and make peace with all these people. Because since 2016, I'm even surprised that he has not been able to make peace with these guys. These are the people that will help him to execute and also win his second term. He cannot wish away the deputy governor because he comes from a majority. That is what you mean. The voters' strength comes from where the deputy governor comes from, which is the Akure. And so he cannot wish him away. So
no,
the
I think
people
it's from the Riverine area, the deputy governor.
The deputy governor
I think so.
is Akure.
Okay.
You know, so if he cannot wish him away, because if he does, it's going to be a huge problem for him. So the best thing is for him to go back home and begin to see how we can settle with all these guys, including the SSG, because as we speak today, the SSG too is also having issues with him.
Wow.
The party
Well,
has
the
been...
election is October,
yeah,
so there's time.
You know, so he has a long
How many people
time.
knew that Faleke and
Bello will settle. So he has a long time.
Less than 3 weeks
the
for the
rope is
election.
still long for him to go back. Now he has spoken with Mr. President. He has gotten the endorsement of Mr. President. Endorsement does not mean you will
not
win.
endorsement.
You know,
Not
okay,
endorsement.
let's not say endorsement. He has seen the president. He has told the president, I want
And
to
the president
go
has
for...
wished him well.
Of course, the
Anybody
president
will
will
come
always
before
wish
he will wish
anybody
him
well.
well.
You understand?
They
Provided
did not
Wish Obaseki
warmly
well.
receive Obaseki.
Obaseki, you understand? So
Yeah,
he
that's my endorsement.
now he knows that, okay, at the federal level, the president has wished him well. He has to now go back home and talk to people around on how they can sort out and fight a battle, because it will be very dangerous for him to go to that battle as a divided front.
I want us to talk about your last visit to Ondo State. I saw some things and I was quite inspired that in the history of that state, it is unprecedented. And those things I saw, and you know, it's another thing when you are talking, you're not matching it with visuals. So as Jide was taking around that factory, the ethanol factory and everything, and it was quite inspiring that in 4 years, that Governor Olua Rotimi Akeredolu could achieve this monumental success.
You know, the good thing was I didn't go there on a government delegation.
You went on your own.
I went on my own, just as I was leaving the place, they called me that the governor was already close, less than 15 minutes to that place. I was coming to the area too. I refused to stay. I proceeded on my journey. So it's not like, oh, I went with, that it was a guided tour, some people from government accompanying me. No, I like to see things for myself. You see, the area that governor needs to improve upon is his interpersonal relationship with fellow politicians. When it comes to achievements, when it comes to hard work, when it comes to invention, when it comes to the work that you have done, all that is enough to get him re-elected. What I've seen, the roads that he has done. I've been saying it that, look, I am, my wife is from Ondo State, from Ikare precisely. Okeala Bojuto used to kill people, but this governor went there, he flattened that hill, and he gave them a dual carriageway. There's no way that you would not, when you move across the state, there's no way you won't see so many roads that this man has done. If you could be re-elected on the basis of performance alone and not on the basis of pleasing key party members, I believe that he has done more than enough to be re-elected. I'm particularly impressed even by the deal that he just signed with NDDC to construct a road from Araromi to Lekki, which will ensure that from Araromi to Lekki in 40 minutes, from Araromi, the riverine part of
That's a big project.
40 minutes you are in Lagos.
Massive.
You know what that will mean. And the governor wants, yes, he wants a port to be sited in Araromi because the deepest point of the Atlantic Ocean in Nigeria is in Araromi. So if you do a port somewhere else, you will need dredging constantly and all that. But with this one, if they do a port there, of course, that's a massive project. They do a port there, the advantage is there. Big ships, big vessels can come in and all that.
Okay, we'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this time out. Please stay with us. The achievement of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, and he has picked his form today for re-election. And this is the beginning of the journey that we decided come October this year. So as you're saying, Babajide.
Yes, I'm talking about roads because roads are really key. You link communities together, and roads help you to boost commerce and other spheres of life. Today, the people of Idonre should be happier that they now have at least two major roads leading into their community. It used to be one major road. Now the governor is constructing a road from Oda in Akure straight to Idonre. And that community just outside of Akure is where a lot of civil servants live. You know, once you leave ShopRite, you know, it's just on the outskirts of the, so civil servants, a lot of them live there. So it's taking a road straight to Idonre, you know, which is significant. And then you look at even the area of revenue generation is very important. From 700 million that he inherited as revenue, the monthly revenue generation, Ondo now generates 2.1 billion. That was what they generated.
Ajia.
Yes, that was what they generated in January before this COVID-19
That's
thing
cool.
began. When you talk about, because a lot of people talk about pay salaries as an achievement, I don't see that as an achievement. But where your predecessor was owing 7 months, and you came in within 3 years, able to reduce that deficit to just 1 month. Because he promised them that he will clear the deficit, and he was able to reduce it to just 1 month, then you've got to give him credit that he has done well. And when you go to even the Ondo State University of Technology, you see what he has done, the new Senate building, the auditorium, the library. So he's done well across board. This is not simply a day to look at what he has done. Because I've not even talked about that industrial complex that I went to. I could talk about that for a whole program. So well, what I'm saying is, if people will be re-elected basically by the promise that they show and by the work that they have done, I think he has done very well. But in our kind of politics, I've seen governors who did well during their first term and were not re-elected. Exactly. The current governor of Ekiti State is one of them. He did well during his first term. He didn't get his politics right.
The right language.
Then, yes, I think the attempt to rationalize the civil service was what made civil service to turn
increase of school
against
fees.
him. Yes, increase of school fees of UNAD and the rest of them. Later on, we started hearing that, the elections were rigged. That's a lie from the pit of hell. They didn't rig the election. The Governor Fayemi was defeated after his first term.
Roundly.
Yes, he was defeated. It's not a matter of the rigged election. Photochrome is a lie from the pit of hell. He was defeated. 16-0. The truth is, we've seen governors who did well. Mahmuda Shinkafi did well as governor of Zamfara. He was not re-elected. You must get your politics right.
Exactly.
That is the thing. You can work and the people may choose not to vote for you. So this is the thing. If we do, that's why we are advising the governor to close ranks with people who are still in the party, who have support base, who are still, they refuse to leave the party, you know, they have support base, and they can actually cause him problems in the election. So my advice to him, as I advised the governor of Edo, who did not take my advice, is to stoop to conquer. Stooping to conquer is not a bad thing.
A case study is somebody like Professor Senator Ajayi Boroface. He's a very strong person in the northern side of Ondo State. And in spite of all, he still won his re-election in that senatorial district, while we know the person that the governor supported. Now let's look at, in terms of PDP, APC, how strong is the PDP? Because I hear the PDP, people like Eyitayo Jegede, people like...
Jegede is coming back.
He's coming back. The deputy national chairman of PDP, what's his name?
That's brilliant.
Eddie Olafeso. Yes.
Very bright man.
Yes, he's in the park. And some other guys.
Okay, so let me also correct this. The deputy governor is from Akeredolu, like you. So
if you come from that area and you don't know where your people come from.
So let me just correct that so that people don't crucify us and we are misinforming the viewers.
That's
yes, very important. Now the PDP also have a very, very strong hold in Ondo State. So if you look at the politics, they have 2 senators. You know, they have 2 senators out of 3.
Based largely on the fighting
within the APC. Yes. The House of Reps, they have, I think, 4 out of 6. You know, so
the PDP.
Yes, the PDP. So they have a large number. They
were dominated.
But at the House of Assembly, it is where the APC they have the majority, which is about 23, about 26.
Because the governor now moved out.
He moved,
he saw the danger.
Because if you don't have the House of Assembly working with you, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, so that is where we will know that the PDP they are not a pushover at all.
They can always exploit the
loopholes
that you have.
How
did they win Bauchi?
It was the same thing. This
when people like Dogara and the rest of them could not be on the same page with the governor. It's the same thing that happened in Adamawa. And we were warning. If you remember, we were warning that, look, you are playing with fire. APC could not resolve their conflict in Adamawa. People like Babashi Lawa, they were not talking terms with the governor. And at the end of the day, and Babame Mongoro,
Yes.
who had the best structure. At the end of the day, these people went and worked for the opponent.
Exactly. Even in, you don't even forget, even in Edo too, PDP, they have 2 senators.
Yes,
Even in Oshun, what happened in Iwo, in Ede, where APC didn't do quite well, is the result of
internal
defections,
former SSG,
left, right,
and
you know.
So
So they need to work together. If not, then
we wish Arakunrin Akeredolu the best of
the
luck.
man with the white beard.
Yes, the best of luck ahead of the October election. Now, the Aziz Fashola, popularly known as Naira Marley, show of shame in Abuja is far from over. After the federal government suspended the flight company that conveyed him from Lagos to Abuja for the concerts, the management of the flight company says they mistaken the pop star for the Minister of Works and Housing because he used the name Babatunde Fashola to secure the services. How ridiculous. Do you go, as in, I've forgotten the name, first of all, Afrijets.
They are empty.
Sam
Iwujoka. The man is just Iwujoku. He's just splitting hairs unnecessarily. Mistake had been made. Accept the punishment. You know, ask for mitigation, not to say no. We thought it was Fashola. Huh? Who does not recognize Fashola in today's Nigeria? He is not short. His hair has turned grey.
He said he doesn't know that it's useless people he was
No,
that's the word he used.
He described it as useless. No, look at even that boy.
Even that, like,
the boy
Mali
said,
responded.
do you know that over 200,000 Malians travel with executive jet a month? We won't be using your useless airline again for calling us useless. Thank God we didn't crash on the flight because we nearly did. You see? He was even saying that Naira Marley said the pilot himself and other people working for the man were Malians. Maybe they were singing his song. You know, people can mistake because I sang his song yesterday now. Some people can say maybe it didn't Malian. But if we check, maybe I have belts. I don't belong to the no belt gang. So the truth is, it's ridiculous. You cannot say that the pilot cannot recognize Fashola. If you allow them to travel because you felt you saw Babatunde Fashola, yes, one of his brothers, his middle name is Babatunde. You know? Moshood Babatunde Fashola. That's true. Yes, they showed you the manifest and you felt that was what misled you. Does it then mean that his own staff cannot recognize Fashola? Immediately, if the notion was, oh, Fashola, the minister, was the one traveling, and the moment you saw that is a musician who sings dirty lyrics, then you should have said, no, this is impersonation. No, you can't fly. But you were ready to take the money. So this is the thing. It's not a case of these people misleading them. It's the staff. It's the staff misleading their boss. You know? Because you could have asked, oh, is it? He said they told him that they were already seated. Yeah, so you find out, is it, they were already seated. Did you see Fashola among the minister, among those who sat down? You saw Malians and you are confusing
Malians with our minister.
No, you see the thing is, you just, after all, a foreign airline came here, breached our rules, and we decided to punish. So there's no reason why they should not punish them as well. And even Naira Marley himself, who chose to travel at this time to go and do a concert. I'm happy that the minister said they will all be prosecuted. I expect that to happen. Otherwise, that boy would think that being a Malian confers him the right to trample on our laws and get away with it. Like he keeps committing offenses, and at the end of the day, we will not, we won't see him locked up.
And so the initial gist is that they gave approval ab initio for this private jet for a judge to go to Abuja to deliver judgment. And what happened along the line. Maybe the judge had told them that he had already secured another airline, got into Abuja and everything. But in all this, it's still so baffling that if this Aziz Fashola, he got to the private jet, he got to the lounge in Abuja, it would have been spotted by fan members, spotted by all other agencies that are involved.
Including
People would
police.
yes, people would have asked questions here and there, because I know that there's a kind of embargo on flying. It's only essential services that are allowed to fly.
You know, Ayo, the thing is, you will also blame the government. Remember when Akeredolu died? They were saying people should, when once anybody is dead, don't go to the burial site and things like that. They flaunted that law. So though they apologized, you know, but the thing is, it is because they've done it before, people will think that, okay, it is right to do it. Look at the governors who were moving, John Ketin, left, right, and center, you know. But even at that, Ayo, the police, they should have noted that, are you on essential service? Because if you are not on essential, why are you flying? And they will also be thinking that since they are in the private lounge for the private jets, maybe it's the minister that is telling them to come, or anything private has to be those at the top. You know, so the system itself is corrupt, seriously corrupt. So
Yes,
if
some people were compromised
yes,
to have allowed
so
this.
if fan,
all
so
these
by
stories,
now,
I don't believe these
yes,
stories.
by fan,
We
by now
challenge the
fan,
Minister of Aviation.
yes, by
That's
now
Adi
fan
Serika,
is supposed to
look into this.
it. Those who were on duty
And
should
clearly
be
that boy has
sanctioned.
been using that jet for
Yes,
some
for
time.
a long time.
So they
because for
cannot
him,
say that they do not
they don't know
They
him.
don't know him.
You know,
That
so-
you are not describing him as useless.
Yeah,
If
useless.
you say he doesn't know
Meanwhile,
that
he said,
useless.
200,000 Malians use your jet.
So
When I
and
read
if
the
you-
press
and
release
if
this
you-
morning, I
if-
was like,
if you multiply 200,000 Malians times the amount that they are
How
using
we
to
sure?
fly.
How
So
we
the boy
sure?
was
Just
just
a
saying
claim.
that.
No, let's
He
even
was just he wanted to.
of course, now,
hype
of course, he will hype
How
himself.
many
now.
of his supporters can go
Malians
into
can go into a
and
private
pay $10,000 for
private jet.
to get
So
on
you
the
understand?
private.
So, but the thing is, fan has to, they have to sanction those who are on duty. Same with the police, because I can't just say I want to fly when they have not opened the airspace.
So loose.
You know, so all those things are something that the government needs to look into.
I think when you
People should
even,
not just
even from
break the laws
Abuja,
and then they will just leave.
something was wrong with this whole thing. I wish we can talk maybe today with our friend Ikaro.
Ikaro,
Because
because
people
even-
were calling me that if it is churches,
He would have
Ikaro will
gone.
go and chase them away.
He would have gone.
That how come under Ikaro's nose this is happening. So if we can, I'm sure he's watching us. Maybe he can
tomorrow
call us.
might
This is an
decide to-
opportunity. No, even now you can call
now,
us.
you can call, yeah.
So that
We want to
you
know
clear the
how
air,
how
how
it
did
happened.
you know
all
the
through
you
the
know,
night.
you know the painful thing was this thing was on and they continued. They were not disrupted. They exceeded the time that they should go home and sleep.
And it was meant to be a driving party.
Yes.
Then everybody came out. They saw people that he was dancing, was singing all those his dirty songs, talking about buttocks and the rest. You know, so how did they not get information? The same way that Ikaro used to get information that, one church is holding service somewhere, or one mosque is holding a service somewhere, and then they go there.
And then
Is it that nobody
arrest
told them that this thing was
Yes,
happening?
and we also
at,
see several the beer parlor apprehending people. So why
that
did
is the
he
thing.
hear
If he can go all the way to Lugbe, he went all the way to Lugbe to disrupt, people who were drinking beer. He chased them away. People, nightclub, he chased them away. So people are saying that, look, what happened? How come they didn't go to this place?
because there's no
We
how
are a
you will
nation.
know.
We are a nation where law enforcement should be taken seriously. If we continue in this way, people will simply see Nigeria as a joke.
Honestly.
Because how can Naira Marley to even go and do a concert in itself is an act of irresponsibility? Not at this time. Nobody is doing it at this time. All over the world, they recognize that it's a pandemic and it's dangerous. It's taking lives.
killing people?
So you can't go and be doing parties. Bars are not open. You know, you allowed it
Hotels
to
are not
happen
open.
and you did not go there. You know, I would have loved a situation in which they went there. Yes, okay.
busted
And
this
then they
party.
chase them away.
Yes.
Yes.
If they chase them away, that
Exactly.
will send a clear message that, look, this is not going to be tolerated. But we didn't see that happen.
See?
Huh? We didn't see that happen at all.
So we challenge the minister should look into this and want to know, and even our friend in the task force want to know
Exactly.
what the party,
How it
how many hours the party stretched to. And finally, it's like Nigeria is sitting on hidden bombs regarding upsurge in rape cases. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, says the country recorded 717 rape cases between January and May this year. Jide, there's fire on the mountain. What's happening? Why this upsurge?
No, because people were, according to the minister, people were locked at home with pedophiles, with rapists. So they capitalized on that period. They will simply commit these crimes. There is no doubt from police record that there has been a spike in rape cases during this period. Because 717 rape cases in 5 months is huge. And those are the cases that were reported. You know, cases incidented, you know, police records. So there are many rape cases that you don't get to read about. There are many cases of defilement. I think now it even looks likely that defilement is even higher than rape, because it's a lot easier to get away with defilement than rape. The rapist, I mean, the rapist could be identified by the victim if the victim is old enough to that can lodge a report. But the children that they defile, children usually like 7 years and below, they can't report. So it's possible that there are so many cases of defilement that we don't even get to hear about. There's a video of a woman who said her 2-year-old daughter, that the man that her living lover was always sleeping with the two-year-old.
I saw that video.
Yes. And the woman was probably insane, was beating the girl. That how come every time the girl will be going to meet the man? What does a 2-year-old girl know? No, things are really happening in our country. And it's everywhere. It's not as if it's concentrated in some parts of the country. It's everywhere. Whether it's far north or the east, or there's a rape epidemic going on in our country.
That's quite disturbing, Asuko.
Yes, it is. It is, and it shows that parents will have to see how they can teach their children on how they can open up, and once anybody touches any part that is said to be sensitive, you know, or anybody even speak in some other climes. If you say anything that pertains or looks like as if you want to molest a child, the child will go back home and tell the parents, and you'll be arrested for it in other climes, you know. But in Nigeria, people just say things to children,
Take it serious.
and in saying those things, it shows that that person is beginning to think how is thinking something on how the person will act. You know, and it's not about that. You know, it's sad because even the last time they were talking about this same matter on the floor of the House of Reps, Faleke said they should be castrated, but people said no, they should voice vote. They said no, they want life in prison, and I keep saying it. When once anybody goes there, only one governor has come out now to say that he will sign. You know, for death sentence. Only one governor. The others they have kept mute.
Even Baba Deboye said death sentence is not too harsh.
It's not too harsh.
For a rapist.
For a rapist.
And I agree with him.
Yes.
And
I agree with him because these rapists go ahead to kill their victims.
Yes,
that's the problem now.
No, they do that because they want to cover their tracks. By all means. Look at the nonsense.
It's bad enough that you're raping somebody and
that girl that was
kill the
killed.
person.
They came up with a story that it was a pastor that impregnated the girl, this and that. What the police the autopsy conducted, they showed that the girl was not pregnant. So you go and rape people even inside the church. There was another one that happened again inside the church.
That's the one in Oyo.
So rapists can't even check themselves. They can't look for dark alleys anymore. They want to do it before our eyes. That's why we have to get serious. The legislation must be better than what we have. What we have now is a slap in the wrist. And the idiots, when they do it, when they bring them to court, they'll be covering their faces. It's only in our country. Go and try it in Iran.
India right now.
Go and try. India is
the capital of
the world capital of rape, and then Democratic Republic of Congo. In that country, largely they are at war. So those soldiers are constantly raping young people that come in contact with them. But our country should not be seen in that light. We're already seen in the light of corruption. Let's not dominate the world in other areas.
With another bad...
let the world see us for things that are good, not for rape and all that. I'm happy that the IG said the president, that he went to brief the president on gender-based violence. And the president appears to be on the same page with the minister that we need to come up with the right laws and processes that will make this thing difficult.
Stringent laws.
Jide, I'd like to announce this breaking news before we go, that the governor of Lagos State has suspended the opening of churches and mosques.
Yes, which is good. We've been scrolling it for some time.
And it's in line with what our fears, what we've been saying, because normally this Sunday, the churches...
I'm even happy.
Even Friday would...
I don't know how they came about the decision in the first place. The decision was a bad one, and probably based on pressure, but leaders shouldn't succumb to pressure. Leaders should also take communication seriously. I'm happy that he has a fantastic communication unit, so the feedback will have been better. So the governor has not taken the right decision. Even imams, Muslim clerics, I see some of them say, no, we will not open mosque now. So let all of us be on the same page. Let's fight this disease. I'm hearing also that NCDC is warning, don't open the schools. Don't open the schools. So our government must listen. Government must listen. Because
your state has already given a date to that. To open the school.
But the NUT, they are saying that no, you should not open the school. That they won't come.
They should stay away.
Because
maybe we'll go and be the teacher by himself.
Like I told you the last time, I will not go to church. But that Adeboye has said he and his family, they won't go to church.
He's an old man.
Because he's old. You understand?
The directive is that Adeboye at that age should not enter a church. So he cannot even go in the first place.
Now, Lagos. The numbers keep increasing.
Yeah.
So let's just
and you don't even know who is carrying it.
Exactly.
We are just moving around. It's the grace of God. It's the grace of God that is saving us.
That grace of God will continue to help us,
but we must help ourselves. Let's keep the churches closed for now.
Nothing will
happen. We can pray in our houses.
Thank you. So you are going to pray in your house?
Yeah, we can pray in our houses. We won't die if we pray in our house.
Thank you. And Vicky, thank you for being part of today's edition. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch journalists hang out on our platforms showing on the screen. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is journalist hangouts at tvcnews.tv. I'm Akeredolu. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.